Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Although we're now in our 9th year of homeschooling, I still don't know everything there is to know about homeschooling. And one term that I was never really familiar with that I've been hearing a lot about recently is morning time. So I decided that I was going to check into what it was all about, and I discovered that a lot of what we're actually implementing into our homeschool is what morning time is. But I decided to take it one step further because it really does seem like such a nice way to start a homeschool day. So for those of you who don't know what morning time is a time when all of the children will get together, usually in the morning. It doesn't have to be, because my littles will actually have their quote morning time in the afternoon. But usually what happens is morning time is a time for all of the kids in a household to learn together. And now I'm going to point out that I don't have all of my kids learning together in our morning time just because I have so many. So I've broken it up into two morning times, morning time, afternoon time. But I'll get into that. But anyway, so the point is that these kids will learn together. And what will happen is the mom or the dad will pick the things that they really want to make sure get covered in their homeschool that might not typically get done in a child's individual work, or sometimes it might get skipped a lot, like kind of overlooked, but a parent will feel that it's important enough that they really do want to fit it in. So oftentimes that's in the morning. And that's really what I had always been doing with read-alouds. You know, I always wanted to fit read-alouds in because we enjoy them so much. So I've always been fitting them in the morning. So I'm just going to give you a little glimpse into what our homeschool morning time looks like. And I do want to point out that although I did say that morning time is for families, like for the kids to learn together before they go out and learn on their own, I do want to point out that there are definitely homeschoolers who are only children who also do morning time. Everybody's morning time looks different, but what it is kind of like a little sampling of things. And sometimes they might go through like little loop schedules or little rotation times, and they might touch on something different each day. But it's all things that are crucial. And I also want to point out that it's this morning time, which is often accompanied by a morning time basket, which I will share later on, maybe next week. This morning time basket will often have everything in it that even if a parent only had time to do everything that was in that basket for the day, they would feel that they had a successful homeschool day. So that's what it is. It's really the things that you consider to be the important things that children are able to learn together. So now that I said that, I'm going to go back and tell you what our morning time is like. So our morning time consists of my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th graders. What we do together is our first rotation is Bible. And so what we do is we will all pull out our Bibles and we will each read one verse together. Right now we're reading through the book of Matthew, and that's what we do. It only takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but I feel really good starting with the Bible because to me that is the most important thing that your kids can learn. So as a believer, yes, Bible has to come first. The second thing in our morning time is our read aloud. That is my second favorite time of the day, or the second most important time of the day. So our read aloud then comes after our Bible time. And usually we will have some narration in there and some discussion. So it's really nice as a family to sit around and discuss a book and maybe talk about our favorite parts or parts that we didn't understand or our favorite characters. And it's really a nice bonding time for us. After our read aloud, what we usually have is what I call our loop scheduling. I almost forgot. And our loop scheduling actually has replaced German. We were doing for about a year, we were doing German together every single day. And while I loved doing German with my kids, I realized that there were some things in the English language that I really wanted to make sure got covered with my kids at some point in time. So I decided to take German out for the time being, and I did give my kids the option to continue learning German in their individual time if they wanted to. But what I did was I took German out and I replaced it with what I'm calling loop scheduling. And we've got 4 things on the loop schedule. So the order that this goes in is day one of the loop schedule is Mad Libs. And I'm doing this to really help my kids to learn, their nouns, adjectives, adverbs, all of those parts of speech. Since we do not use a grammar curriculum, this is really important for me to do. And my kids love it. It's hilarious. It really is. So after Mad Libs, the next day we only do one thing in each loop schedule a day. So the day after Mad Libs, then what we do is cursive. We do not use a cursive curriculum. All that I do is I actually have little notebooks, I think they're composition books, where I will write the letters that they're learning for the day, and I might write some words underneath to show them how it's strung into words. And I will have them trace my own handwriting, and then they will have to try to copy it. And that is what we do for our cursive. It is very low-key, and it's just to really introduce them into understanding how to write in cursive and also how to read cursive. So the rotation that comes after cursive is, now this is like another grammar supplement. My kids, in their notebooking, one of the notebooks that they do is a journal, and I allow them to write anything that they want in their journal. It can be a story, it can be kind of like a diary, anything they want. But what they do is they take their journal out and they open it up to any page that they want to. And what I've been doing is I might tell them that day, okay, open up to any page in your journal, and I want you to underline all of the nouns on your page. And then maybe other times I might say, okay, today I want you to circle all of the verbs. And it doesn't matter if they do the same page or not. It is entirely up to them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through the parts of speech with this and punctuation. And again, this is really helpful because we do not use a grammar curriculum, but we're using it with something that they've already written. And especially when we get to the punctuation part, it's really going to help them to understand what they might have gotten wrong as they were writing this journal. And the last thing in our rotation is Story of the World. I almost forgot. And you might notice that's like the only thing that doesn't have to do with language arts. But I love Story of the World. And I really, really want to share through all of world history with my kids. And it's such a beautiful way to learn it. It's so interesting. So that is our fourth rotation, is just reading a chapter of Story of the World. And again, I'm going to repeat myself that these rotations that I've gone through, Mad Libs, cursive, grammar, and Story of the World, it's just one each day. We just rotate them. That's it. So we don't fit all of them into one day. So after we do that morning rotation, now some people might not consider this to be morning time anymore, but I do because we are all still learning together. That is when we will transition into our unit study time, or as right now we are actually going through Beautiful Feet books. And that, I mean, I consider that a unit study, but it's really a literature-based history program. And that's what we're doing right now. We've taken a break from CONUS, which we do that from time to time because Beautiful Feet books actually has a section on the landing of the Pilgrims and, all of those Thanksgiving related things. So I thought that now was a good time to get that started. But really, so after the rotation time, we transition into our unit study time together, or our Beautiful Feet books, or whatever it is, the bulk of our learning is what we do together. And that's why I still consider it morning time, because morning time is about finishing up what you can together before moving out into your individual routines. And that's what happens with us. So after unit study time, that is when I consider our morning time to have ended, because that is when we move on and we start doing their individual math and sometimes their notebooking or whatever we have planned for that day. So I'm just going to go over one more time really quickly. We do Bible, and then we do our little loop scheduling that I went over. Oh, sorry, we do Bible, then read aloud, then our loop scheduling, and then we move into the unit study or whatever it is that we're doing together. So that is our morning time routine. Everyone's can look different. I just thought that I would share it today so that you could have an idea of really what it is, because I honestly wasn't too sure about it. But it's such a nice time to learn together. And again, morning time doesn't have to happen in the morning. I do have my littles morning time in the afternoon, usually after lunch. And I'll share what I do with them on the day that I show you their afternoon basket, we call it, but that will be in another video. So if you have any questions about morning time, leave a comment. If you have any suggestions for good ideas for morning time, also let me know, because I'm always up for some fun ideas for our homeschool. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed and would like to do that, I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day.